now being joined by Colonel David Desroches, Associate Professor at National Defense University. He has served in the U.S. military in Afghanistan and has been responsible in shaping American defense policy at large. He joins us live from Washington. Thank you so much for joining us on WION, sir.
Thank you.
First of all, tell us more about Vladimir Tatarsky. Who was he? We know that he had a massive reach on Telegram, but why was he targeted?
Well, why was he targeted raises the question of who targeted him. So he was a criminal who was incarcerated in Donetsk province. When Russia initially invaded Donetsk province in 2014, he was freed from jail and immediately left, defected from the Ukrainian side to the Russian side, became a prominent supporter of them, became an active participant in combat operations as well as a military blogger. He's not the most prominent of military bloggers. He has been critical of Russian forces in the past. So that raises the question of who might have done this, and there's no shortage of people with possible motives.
Right, like you said that he was pretty influential with more than 500,000 followers on Telegram. Do you think he was an easy target?
Well, he was dealt with pretty easily by whoever did it. 500,000 followers on Telegram is something, but he's not the most prominent Russian military blogger. There are some in the Russian government who's instantly said Ukraine did this. Oddly enough, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the head of Wagner Group, said he did not think Ukraine did it. And I think the theory that I'm leaning towards is he did, he was an active, strident support of the Ukrainian war, but he also criticized the Russian Ministry of Defense. And I think that if Ukraine had the ability to target somebody this deep inside Russia, they'd pick somebody bigger, somebody more important, somebody more critical to the war effort. So I'm kind of leaning towards the idea that this was the Russian state basically saying, look, you will not criticize us. And the fact that he was killed in a cafe that had been owned by Prigozhin, I think, was meant to also send a message to the Wagner Group not to challenge the Russian army, as he has in the past.
Right, so you're suggesting that he might have been killed either from the Ukraine side or that by the Kremlin. I also want to add that this is the second high-profile targeted killing that has taken place on the Russian soil. Is there a pattern emerging here regarding the profiles of people who are being targeted in these mysterious blasts?
I don't think so. Again, these are not the most prominent people. And I think, again, if the Ukrainian state were doing it, they would be going after people like folks who manage weapons factories. And there have been incidents of blasts at weapon factories and research facilities. I think that this is small fish for the sort of effort you'd have to do to carry out an operation like this inside of Russia if you're Ukrainian. If the Russians did it, if the Russian armed forces did it, they have a little bit more of a motive, and I think that it would make sense this would be, kill a chicken and scare the monkeys. A guy like this in a cafe that the head of the Wagner Group had owned, I think is, that seems a little bit more plausible as a theory to me, but I have to emphasize we're just guessing right now.
Right. Thank you so much, Colonel, for joining us on WION and sharing your insights with us on this. Thanks very much.
Thank you.